Okay, what's going on, everybody? We're here. We're live. Breaking news, breaking news. Some of you might be informed about this and know about this already, but in case you didn't know, breaking news. Uh, I'm laughing because I'm looking at Untried Genius. He put yes. He said yes. RFK Jr., man. RFK Jr. Has dropped out of the race. He has officially dropped out of the race and is now endorsing Donald Trump. RFK Jr., I repeat, is dropping out of the race and is now officially endorsing Donald Trump. He gave a host of reasons for why that is. I believe his original speech is somewhere around 48 minutes long, close to an hour. All the reasons for why that is. I want to get into a few of them, just a few couple quick hits, bullet points concerning just what he discussed, and then we're going to head on out of here. This isn't going to be a long, drawn out stream, but let's get into when he officially made that statement. Right, let's get into that right now. Shout out to my man Untried Genius once again. Yes.
Three great causes drove me to enter this race in the first place, primarily. And these are the principal causes that persuaded me to leave the Democratic Party and run as an independent. And now to throw my support to President Trump. The causes were free speech, the war in Ukraine, and the war on our children.
We're going to get into the free speech portion in a moment. Trust me, you're going to want to wait for this and what they did to RFK Jr.'s live feed on CNN.
We were the party of labor, of the working class. The Democrats were the party of government transparency and the champion of the environment. Our party was the bulwark against big money interests and corporate power. True to its name, it was the party of democracy. As you know, I left that party in October because it had departed so dramatically from the core values that I grew up with. It had become the party of war, censorship, corruption, big pharma, big tech, big ag, and big money. When it abandoned democracy by canceling the primary to conceal the cognitive decline of the sitting president.
So much of what he's saying right now is true, and we're going to get into the rest of what he's saying right now as well, because that's when we're going to watch CNN disrupt his live feed. But I mean, just as so many of us remember, me growing up, right? I'm 39 years old. As far as the Democrats were concerned, in perception, they were the party of free speech. They were the party of actual democracy, right? They were anti-war. They were huge when it came to being against, way back in the day now of the war in Iraq. You get what I'm saying? Like, and they've done a complete 180 on who they were and what they stood for, at least what they perceived to be about and what they perceived to be for. They've done a huge 180 from that standpoint, from then up until now. This is a whole new party now, taking a whole new stance on a host of issues as it pertains to being against democracy and tyranny. They used to be the party that was anti-tyranny, you know what I mean? But now they have taken on the role of the tyrants. They have taken on the role, essentially, of the villain. You know what I mean? And RFK Jr. is going to explain a little bit of that right here.
Our media.
Let me rewind it back just a little bit.
Institutions, for our media, and for our government, and most sadly at all for me, for the Democratic Party. In the name of saving democracy, the Democratic Party set itself to dismantling it. Lacking confidence.
I want to play that one more time. In the name of, air quotes, saving democracy, they have been dead set on dismantling it. And that's so true. That's something that we talk about all the time on this channel, that the party that talks about preserving democracy the most, being against hate speech the most, being against, hurtful rhetoric the most, misinformation, disinformation the most, are the ones who have engaged in it the absolute most.
The Democratic Party set itself to dismantling it. Lacking confidence in me, the Democratic Party. In the name of saving democracy, The Democratic Party set itself to dismantling it, lacking confidence in its candidate, that its candidate could win in a fair election at the voting booth. The DNC waged continual legal warfare against both President Trump and myself.
If you all remember, when I discussed how the Democrats were able to successfully remove RFK Jr. off the ballot in New York, RFK revealed that to this very date, he has paid, or I should say his campaign has paid up to the tune of $10 million in legal defense fund. $10 million in legal defense, where you had the DNC, and their little surrogate organizations constantly waging legal war, right? Filing these petty claims against RFK Jr. concerning ballot access in an attempt to remove him off the ballot in multiple states. Obviously, it's not cheap to fight these legal wars and to go up against the DNC and their little surrogate organizations. And like I said, up until now, he has paid $10 million, $10 million fighting them. Not fighting Trump, not fighting the RNC. He's paid $10 million fighting the DNC just to stay in the race, as they have continued to weaponize the legal system to remove him off the ballot in the same way. And they did it successfully, at least in New York, the same way that they were attempting to do to Donald Trump. Let's get into this right here, though. This is the last clip that I want to play for you, because as he's discussing and talking about how the Democrats have now become the authoritarian party, and how they're now engaging in a very anti-democratic matter in order to quote preserve democracy and save it. As he's articulating these things, right? The ouster of Joe Biden, the coup against Joe Biden within the party, he's explaining and breaking this down. And mind you, this is his live feed, right? Everybody's carrying it because we want to know what he's going to say in the moment. They are playing it on CNN. And look how CNN interrupted when he was discussing the coup on Joe Biden within the Democratic Party. CNN said, nope, not today. Not today. Watch this.
Against President Biden, the same shadowy DNC operatives appointed his successor, also without an election. They installed a candidate who was so unpopular with voters that she dropped out in 2020 without winning a single delegate. My uncle and my father both relished debate. They prided themselves on their capacity to go toe-to-toe with any opponent in the battle over ideas. They would be astonished to learn of a Democratic Party presidential nominee who, like Vice President Harris, has not appeared in a single interview or an unscripted encounter with voters for 35 days.
We've been listening to independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. from Phoenix outlining what led him to his quixotic quest for the White House to now dropping out and relinquishing the title of Democrat. He had a series of complaints about the party. We're, of course, going to continue watching his remarks. There's a back and forth over whether he's going to endorse former President Donald Trump. We're going to break that down on the other side of a quick break. Stay with CNN.
Oh, man, they said not today. Not today. They cut RFK Jr.'s feed quick. They said, of course, we're going to get back to it. But, run a commercial. Run a commercial real quick. Who's running commercials, in the middle of a mainstream media, like live press conference? I've never seen that before. They cut my man's feed off. They said, oh, no. RFK Jr., he's telling the truth. Get it out. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Of course, we're going to get back to it. But first, let's just run a commercial. We're going to play a couple commercials, and then we'll be right back. They said, let's let him get through this part of the discussion first. Let's get through this part where he's telling the truth, about us being the authoritarian party. And then we'll get back into, his actual, live feed and what he had to say. Oh, man, that is crazy. That is unbelievable. But all this does is it's more proof to what RFK was saying is true, right? This has become the party of the authoritarianists. right? This is the authoritarian party, not the Democratic Party. They are extremely anti-democratic. We've watched them weaponize the justice system. Some might say successfully to a degree, but unsuccessfully against Trump because they were doing it to get him off the ballot. So in that case, they were unsuccessful. But they were successful in weaponizing the legal system in order to get RFK Jr. off the ballot in New York, right? They've been very successful in freezing people like him and Cornel West out of mainstream media for the most part. They don't give him much coverage other than to demonize RFK Jr. and confer and refer to him as being right wing when he's not, you know? And then we're watching just how all this is playing out right now. These are a handful of the multitude of reasons for why RFK Jr. has bowed out the race and is now endorsing Trump. I mean, you're looking here. You're supposed to be showing a live feed of his press conference, and you're interrupting it to say, hey, you know what? We're actually cutting the commercial right now. Forget what he's talking about. I don't know, man. I don't know. The DNC, they, like I said, they might as well just change their name to the authoritarian party at this point. They might as well do that. And shout out to my man Untried Genius for coming through. He said, this is a huge development. If we lose this election, I don't know if I have much more faith in the people or our voting system to do what's right. I'm kind of right there with you, man. I'm right there with you, Untried. You know, it seems virtually impossible for Kamala to win. And then when you just take into account, we've discussed it, and I'm going to say this one thing in closing. Pennsylvania, and I did a live stream about it, a quick one. Pennsylvania already said we're not guaranteeing same-day election results. Pennsylvania, state of Pennsylvania, the coveted swing state, has already put out an official statement 2.5 months before the election telling us all, hey, man, if you're expecting same-day results over here from us in Pennsylvania, we are not guaranteeing you that. That's crazy when a state, a whole swing state, puts out a statement ahead of time letting you know, forget it. Forget it. But anyway, that's what I got. That's all I got for you guys today, man. This is going to be a short one because I do have some things I got to take care of. But I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. You know how important that is to me. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends. Follow me on Telegram and Rumble. Both the Telegram and Rumble link are in the description box below and will be pinned in the comment section as well. At the end of the stream, please follow me on Telegram and Rumble. That's extremely important too. And stick around because this live stream here should redirect you to a video that will be premiering in 1 hour in which Vivek Ramaswamy confronted Van Jones. Vivek Ramaswamy ran up on Van Jones. It was an interesting interaction, and you guys should check it out. That video will be premiering once again here in about an hour. So you'll be redirected there. Thank you all for your time. And to the next video, peace and have a great afternoon. Shout out to my man AB Promotion with the last minute buzzer beater swish. TD CNN ain't got time to tarry. Oh man, CNN definitely got time to tarry. They ain't got time to tarry. I'll hit you with it one time before we get up out of here. I'll hit you with it one time. This was CNN. Once RFK Jr. started telling the truth. CNN said,
see everything else. I don't care about none of that. I ain't got time to tarry.
CNN said, man, I ain't got time to tarry. I ain't got time to tarry. And me neither, man. I ain't got time to tarry anymore with y'all either, man. You guys have a great afternoon, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.